Hello, everybody. Here today with Luna the Math Cat to talk about areas of parts of circles. Okay, so first part we're going to talk about is something called a sector. A sector is like a wedge of pie. Okay, it starts out at the center and it just cuts out a nice little wedge of that pie. The important part is this must be the center of the circle. Okay. Now, the area of a sector can be found using the formula A equals N divided by 360 over pi or times pi r squared, where N is the number of degrees in the central angle and R is the radius. So essentially what you're going to do, this part finds the area of the entire circle, okay, and then N out of 360 just gives you the fraction of the circle that you want. Okay, so it's pretty simple to do. So that's called a sector. Now, this is called a segment of a circle. Okay, what a segment is you take a sector and then you draw a segment that goes from the 2 points where the sector intersects the intercepted arc, and you cut this triangle off. Okay, so essentially, the formula, you're going to find the area of the circle, that's the pi r squared. You're going to take N out of 360, that's going to give you the sector right here. And then what you need to do is you need to cut off the triangle right here. So we're going to use half the base times the height, where the chord here is the base and this is the height. Okay, so we come up with a formula for that. Now, you don't need to memorize these formulas, you just need to be able to figure them out as you go. Obviously, if you can memorize them, that's great, but it's not super important to be able to do that. Now, this is called an annulus. Basically, it's two concentric circles, so that's circles that have the same center. And you want the area between the two circles, okay? So that's just find the area of the big circle and then find the area of the little circle and subtract it. So if we call this radius 1, then it's pi radius 1 squared minus pi radius 2 squared. That's a super simple one in my opinion. Okay. So let's find the area of this annulus below. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video and give this a try, and then jump back on and see how you did. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the big circle, the area of the big circle, and we're going to subtract the area of the small circle. Okay, so let's see, it's going to be pi. The radius of the big circle, now be careful here, this is 3 right here, and this is 8. So the radius of the big circle is 11. 11 squared minus pi times the small radius squared, that's going to be 8 squared. So this is going to be 121 pi minus 64 pi. What is that? That's 57. Okay. Yeah, 57 pi. That's the exact answer. Okay, if I want to figure that out, that's approximately 178.98 square centimeters. And that's just the area of the green part. Okay, so hopefully you got that right. Okay, find the area of this sector. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video and then jump back on and see how you did. Okay, so if we were going to do the sector, we would take area would be N out of 360 times the area of the circle, which would be pi r squared. Okay, so what's N? N is 55 degrees, so it's 55 out of 360 times pi times the radius, which is 32 squared. Okay, so 32 squared is going to be 1,024. And then we're going to go times 55 divided by 360. It's going to be 156.4 repeating times pi. Let me make sure I did that right. I think I typed that in wrong. 1,024 divided by 360 times 55. Yep, that came out right. Okay, so there's my exact answer times 3.14. It's approximately 491.24, and that's in square feet. Okay, I always like to have a box around my exact and my approximate answer. All right. And there we go. So there's a few shapes there for you to find areas of. Good luck with that. I will see you guys in class.